back here at the studio with my friend Stephanie. So I know Stephanie, it's been a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
I did a personal brand session for her at her home, and now she's here at my home. We're just talking about fun things. Our paths have crossed quite a bit in the last year and a half, and we've gotten to talk about really juicy things that we wanted to share with you all. But first, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about who you are, how you spend your time.
Yeah. So I'm Stephanie McCullough, and I am a personal trainer turned kind of life coach. That's what I'm transitioning into. And I've been in San Francisco for about 10 years, started out in fashion, and through some ups and downs decided to kind of pivot into health and fitness. That's really where my heart and my passion was. And through those transitions really learned that I love like behavioral change and like shifting mindset and the power of thought. And so I decided to get into coaching to help people do the same.
And who doesn't need help? We all need a good coach in our life.
Yeah, we do. We're 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need all of them for sure. One of my big passion points, because it's something I struggle with and have found great tips for, is mental health. And we were talking a bit about all the thoughts that go into our heads.
So
and
you,
thoughts. I know, have quite a bit of a story about that. So why don't you tell us a bit about why you're passionate about mental health and give us a few tips of how we can make our thoughts work for ourselves.
Sure. So yeah, over the years, I have had moments in time where I've dealt with a little bit of depression here and there. And about 5 years ago, when I was really taking that change from working in fashion and corporate to making a big leap, I was in kind of a really low point. So I was going to see a therapist and talking through these things. And she started to really help me gain awareness to my thoughts. And so we would talk about my thoughts, and like through this process of identifying my thoughts and what they were saying, I started to recognize that there were like 3 different types of voices and thoughts I was having. I'd have like these thoughts that were super negative and judgmental and like really hurtful. And so I started calling that kind of my inner mean girl. And then I would have the thoughts of like the achiever, like I have to do this. I want to start this business. I have all these ideas. I need to do this. The checklist. It's like, dit. And so I think we all entrepreneurs definitely like know that
running list all the time.
The running list. And then as I started to get kind of clear with those thoughts, I started to pay attention to that like more quiet one, the more subtle one that was like really kind and gentle and wise, kind of like your best friend being like, no, you're doing great. And no, like you actually are really beautiful and you're on the right path. Maybe we just try this. And so kind of getting more attuned to like those voices and learning how to see where I needed to shift those thoughts a little bit.
Totally. So then that's the key thing is one, like recognize even the thoughts that you're having. It's that self-awareness, like, wow, okay, these are the thoughts that are going into my brain. But then also categorizing them. Inner mean girl, she is so annoying.
She a pain.
She is there. And we think we only have that mean girl and everyone else just has a best friend. No, we all have that mean girl.
We all have a mean girl.
She is annoying and she'll be with us forever. But it's like trying to build up that best friend in us, right?
Totally.
And then how do you even like continue to like hone in on those thoughts too? So with the mean girl, the best friend, and the go-getter in all of us, how do we even put all those thoughts in one place? There are all of these voices we have in our heads, and there's different types of them. How can we tune into them? Do you have a few tips and tricks?
Yeah. So something that's really helpful for me is I love to journal, and I'm kind of an internal processor. And so for me, I would start to like just journal out like stream of consciousness and then go back and read it and be like, wow, like those thoughts are pretty negative. Some of them are kind of judgy and mean. And so I'd identify that, well, that's clearly my inner mean girl. And so usually like what I like to do is through that journaling, you can see, you know, is this person my achiever, or is this my mean girl, or is that pretty true? And really seeing like what's actually true. And so that's one way, just journaling, going back, looking over it, and kind of just paying attention to what those thoughts even are. And then the second one is just talking to a friend and getting that kind of verbal processing going. So whether you're talking to a therapist or a friend and being like, hey, like I'm having a lot of like thoughts lately. I'm kind of spiraling a little bit. or I have these ideas. Can I get your thoughts or your opinion on like what you think? Because you know my heart and you know my values, and like really going to somebody that you trust and like getting their feedback, because a lot of times we all have those people in our lives that can like really speak truth to who we are. And so that one can be really powerful. And then I think meditation is really great too, because you're able to get yourself kind of quiet, and for a little while you might be having like all the thoughts. So it's like the achiever thoughts of, I don't have time to do this because I need to do this and blah blah blah. But then when you take a few breaths and you're able to kind of like settle into your body, those thoughts come and go, and you're able to see like, okay, this thought was kind of mean, I don't love that one, but maybe where is it coming from? Or this is still that achiever that wants to get up and go do something else. Or then maybe you get to that point in your meditation where you're able to hear like, hey, you're doing great, sit back, take a breather, maybe go to the beach today. And it's that friend that you like want to spend more time with. So the more that you're able to notice these things, and like whether it's through journaling or talking to somebody or through meditation, you can see, are more of these thoughts that I'm giving power to, are they positive or are they negative? And then you can start to shift, like maybe these more negative thoughts are coming from patterns of hanging around certain people that are constantly talking about negative things or gossiping or like comparing themselves to people. So you can start to see where you can take actions, whether it's through people you're spending time with, through, TV or music or whatever you're consuming, or just how you're spending time in your own thoughts. You can see where you need to start to shift them. And then hopefully over time, there's more nice, wise friend thoughts than inner mean girl thoughts.
I dig that. It's like feeding that best friend.
Yeah, totally.
So that voice gets louder, and it sounds like meditation is a key way to do that, along with journaling and along with, I love that almost script of like how to say to your best friend, like, or to a person in real life, hey, I'm going through some of these thoughts. Can you tell me if these things are true?
Yeah.
Are these true thoughts? Should I keep on tuning into them?
Yeah.
I think that's super helpful.
Yeah, they're really helpful.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing those tips with us. How can our friends find you online?
Yeah, so I have Instagram. It's Stephanie_McCullough. I spell my name a little funny, so with an F and an I. Okay. And then also my website is just stephaniemccullough.com. So you can check me out there.
Easy peasy. Well, thank you for sharing all those wonderful mental tips with us. The inner mean girl in my head is trying not to be mean to my technology right now. And the best friend voice in me is just saying, it's going to be all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. So thank you again.
Thank you. It was so great hanging out with you.
Again, we're going to record a dance video now. It's going to be great.